I assume he's not. Well, here we go again. We're live on SammyVision. Your host, Sam Shalia. Game 2 of the 2-game set here between your Westerville Warcats varsity hockey team and the Cincinnati Swords. The earlier game going to the Swords 4-3, but a much better effort from the Warcats, who played a fairly complete game and a decent third period. 1-1 in the third period it ended up going. It was the 3 goals in the first period that actually came back to bite the Warcats. But after the first period, it really was all Warcats. 3-1 from that point on. But the Swords still ended up with the victory 4-3. And a costly loss in more than one sense, as the Warcats were going to be without the services of Cullen Hassel, who was assessed a game penalty or a game misconduct in the first game after a little fracas behind the Cincinnati Swords net following Hassel challenging a rebound. Got a game misconduct for butt ending. And talking to my sources, they said it definitely was butt ending and the referee had to call it. So it was a 5-minute major and a misconduct. And Cullen Hassel being forced to sit out for this suspension. The Warcats also without number 93, Ian Shealy, who wasn't here this morning and won't be playing in this game either due to previous commitments. Still without DJ Bridge, of course, the senior number 2, after Bridge suffered a shoulder injury a couple weeks back. And Wilson Cooper Kleberger also not playing for the Warcats for the remainder of the season. So slightly shorthanded are the Warcats. Pretty decent effort by Will Coronin net in the first game. We're expecting to see senior number 32, Adam Mukovitz. He had the start yesterday against the Miami Junior Redhawks and is going to get another start here. The Warcats, again, are being coached by Coach Caleb Kramer today, and strength and conditioning coach Nick Orioli, as head coach Jordan DiGiondo, and assistant coach Tyler Murphy not in attendance for the Warcats. Perhaps listening along at home. SammyVision, of course, thanks all our loyal watchers and listeners across the SammyVision network. Today's game being brought to you by camera person Serena Shalia. Behind the camera, helping out the production staff. A shout out to everybody on SammyVision coffee duty. The Reisingers and the Snyders, helping to keep the talent happy. Jim Hassel providing your wireless network for SammyVision. A big thank you to the Hassels. The loyal listeners, the Reisinger family, the Bussies usually listening along, Muckovitzes. I hate to leave anybody out, but a lot of loyal SammyVision watchers and listeners. So warm-ups starting to wind themselves down. As we're getting ready to go here. The Warcats nearing the end of their season. Still have 4 games, I believe, on the schedule. Still needing to play the Prowlers, Northeast Storm, and Hilliard. And supposed to be a couple against the Northeast Storm. We'll see if those get made up. And then the CBJ Cup, which is the OSHL playoffs. And God willing, the state tournament, where the Warcats are just hanging on. Got to finish in the top 12. The most recent rankings, the Warcats were 9 out of those 12. But yesterday's loss to Miami certainly not going to help those rankings out any. And today's 1-goal game against the Swords probably helping. The Swords well ahead of the Warcats in the standings. So if they put together another good effort here, should hang on into the top 12. We're getting ready to start game 2. First period, Shalia taking the face-off. He's got David Reisinger and Cedric Collins with them. Shalia tries to win it back, and it was the Swords who came up with it. And then Owen Hood rocks that Swords number 24. And the puck comes into the Warcat zone, taken by Andrew Reiser. He plays it out and then loses the puck. A bouncing puck back to Collins. Collins retreats now behind his own net. 15-minute periods. It indeed is Aiden Muckovitz in goal for the Warcats. Puck comes back into the Warcat zone. Owen Hood plays it out right to David Reiser in center ice. Feeds it across to Josh Tidd. Tidd plays it with his skate and gets it deep into the zone. Just underway here. First period, scoreless game. Swords and Warcats. Aiden Whaley gets the puck to the blue line, sent back in by the Swords. Snyder back to retrieve it. Around the boards it goes, looking for Reed Hinton. Hinton leaves it there for Bussy. Bussy loses it, one hand on the stick on the backhand. And the puck rolls away from Bussy. Now over the blue line, the Swords send it back in, and that should be all the way down on the intentional offsides. As the shot hit the goaltender with the player in an offsides position, means the faceoff will come all the way back down into the Swords zone. Puck has not been down there yet this game. We're just a minute and 14 seconds into the game, so the Warcats sticking with this Colin Fury, Andrew Pollack, Sean Hunt line. We saw a little bit of this in game 1. Fury gets it back to Snyder. Snyder has it deflected, and then it's thrown into the corner by Andrew Pollack. Tucked below the goal line for the Swords. Pollack takes it away, feeds it out in front, and then Fury trying to get it back down low. Hit a skate, never made its way all the way down. There's a shot just wide by Snyder from the point. Snuffed in by Aiden Whaley, I believe. And the fans showing their appreciation for that little used line that actually put some decent pressure on. Got to give credit where credit's due if I'm going to be critical one way, I want to give credit when it is earned. Nixon Up to Reisinger. David Reisinger now with it. Kind of a weak shot. It was partially blocked on its way to the net. The goaltender for the Swords hangs on. And a face-off deep into the Swords zone. It's going to be Shalia Collins, David Reisinger with Chase Nixon, Andrew Reisinger in defense. Shalia steps in, wins the face-off. Back to David Reisinger. Up to Collins. Comes off a Collins stick along the boards. Collins pinches and kept it in momentarily. The Swords then send it down the length of the ice. We're going to have icing here, I believe, on the Swords. And indeed we do. Face-off coming back down into the Swords zone. Just 2 minutes and 32 seconds off the clock in this first period. Shalia stepping in to take the face-off again. This time tries to get it over to Collins, taken away by the Swords. Collins gets it right back. Now Collins with a little bit of room. He winds up shot. Blocker saved there by the goaltender for the Swords. Near side. Comes away from the wall. Picked up by a Swords player who then backhands it out. All the way down the ice. We're going to have icing again on the Swords. Man, it's just itching my face. Warcats make a line change, but it's the Swords now with possession in the Warcats zone, getting it below that goal line, fitting it out in front. Stand on by a Swords player and comes back down into the Swords end of the ice. Resetting the lineup for you. It's Bussy, Hinton, and Tidd. Nick Iser and Owen Hood defending. Puck comes below the goal line in the Warcats end. Now from the corner, the Swords walking it out in front and then blocked there in front. May have been Wickheiser to get his stick on that one. Into the corner, Hood plays it around the board. Josh Tidd has it just go right past him into the neutral zone, taken away by the Swords. Back into the Warcat zone. Owen Hood playing it around, this time to Andrew Pollack, who chips it out of the zone and then chases it. Picked up by the Swords, who then feed a nice pass across. That shot hits Aiden Muskovitz up high and then goes over the net against the end wall. And we have a whistle. And I am not entirely sure. The referee is talking to the Warcats bench. And we may have too many men on the ice. And indeed we do. Andrew Pollack now going to the box to serve that penalty. And my, oh my, we find ourselves shorthanded again. Shalia Collins, Reisinger, and Snyder, the four out there. Shalia taking the face off, Swords win it. The Swords get it back to the point, kind of deflected there a little bit by Collins. Swords able to get it in below the goal line. Now working from below the goal line, sending it out far side. Up to the point it comes. Back down low against the half wall. Skating with it now towards the blue line, cycling it into the corner. Andrew Reisinger was right in the correct position, but the puck rolled over his stick, and the Swords able to keep it below that goal line. Would have been an easy clear for Reisinger. Now taken away by Collins, and Collins with speed up on the right side. Bring it in. The Trailer Shalia shot save made! As Collins trying to toe drag the Swords defenseman, lost the puck, but it went right to Shalia's stick. And in between games, one of the messages to senior Santos Shalia was to trail the play when you got an offensive player with you with speed up ahead. Try and be right behind that in a trailing position to do exactly what just happened right there. Hey, sometimes I know a little more than people will give me credit for, but that was my message. The Swords now with possession in the Warcat zone, still on the power play. There's a shot save made by Mukovitz. Another save made by Mukovitz. And the puck cleared by the Warcats. It's Hinton and Josh Tidd, the forwards out. And Tidd back to get to that puck. Had his stick on it first, but the Swords come away. The Swords now into the Warcat zone. Pulling up, leaving it there against the half wall. Whaley in a decent position, but had the puck jump over his stick. The Swords from the corner. Now feeding it below that goal line. The give and go. It comes back to the blue line. Fanning out in that Swords player. Reed Hinton. Now trying to get a step on the defense. Hinton pulls up. Winds up. Shot. Over the net it goes. But a good play there by Hinton. And the Warcats with a couple good looks. Penalty killing now. The Swords player from the corner trying to walk it out in front. Feeds it in behind the net. And sent down the ice, and this will kill off the penalty. And the Warcats momentarily will go back to 5-on-5. Polak out of the box. The Warcats now full strength. Stolen away by Collins. Collins runs into two Sword players and gets the puck back. Shot save made. Rebound attempt. Goaltender hangs on. And a good start here by the Warcats. 8:41 remaining in the first period. And the Warcats out shooting the Swords 4-3 at the moment, with a couple pretty decent looks. Shalia stepping in to take the face-off. Hits the referee's skate. The Swords come away with it and out of the zone. Bryce Wickizer to defend, but the Swords with the puck over the blue line, very close to offsides. Swords, though, get the puck. It hits a skate in front, now taken away by Wickizer. I'm not entirely sure of that pass off the wall. He had plenty of room to skate that up the ice. Tried to pass it off the wall. I'm not sure to who. The Swords able to get it back into the zone and cycle it behind the net. No pressure whatsoever. The Swords player now with it back into the corner. Now it's Wickizer trying to throw the body around. He missed that Swords player, but it was enough to make the Swords player want to get rid of the puck. Far corner now, number 88 for the Swords with the puck. Had a couple penalties that first game. See if the Warcats can lure them into some more during this game. Shalia trying to get onto that puck, tying his man up. Swords again with the loose puck now in the far corner. Up along the boards, it comes to the point. Pressured there by Collins, and the puck sent wide of the net. David Reisinger absorbing a big hit against the near wall. Collins comes away with the puck. Collins all by himself. 5 Swords to beat. Sends that puck just wide of the net. Gets it in deep enough to get a line change. Bussy, Tidd, and Reed Hinton now out there. Good play by Tidd in the neutral zone. Bussy pulls up, trying to avoid a hit. The puck stays at the blue line. Now taken by Andrew Reisinger. Andrew Reisinger feeds it across. Comes to Bussy, who shoots it. Save made. Out in front of the net, loose puck. Picked up again by Bussy, backhanding it to Hinton. There's a shot save made as Reisinger wound up at the faceoff dot. Andrew Reisinger back to the point. It comes over Bussy's stick. Nicholas Crone back to get it. Nicholas Crone, number 8, back in the near corner. Puck getting caught up in his skates a little bit. Now he's trying to feed it up along the wall, but I will say there's nobody there. There's a shot save made by Mukovitz. Reisinger flips it out of the zone. Probably going to have icing here on the Warcats. And indeed they do. And a defensive zone faceoff is going to see the line of Colin Fury, Sean Hunt, and Andrew Pollack with Aiden Whaley, and I'm trying to see, it's hard to see through this glass and this netting. I think it's Owen Hood, the other defenders. Around the boards it comes, Sean Hunt to it, playing it up along that near side, now back to Owen Hood. Owen Hood with it behind his own net, nobody to pass it to, now sends it around near side again. Hunt trying to just get it out of the zone. It's kept in nicely by the Swords. Now fed through neutral zone to Pollack. Tried to leave it there for Fury. Fury overskated it, and the Swords sent it back in the zone. 6 minutes remaining in the first period. Scoreless game. Warcats with the better of the chances so far. Hood now with it. Nobody at all to pass it to. Finally up to Pollack near side. and out of the zone. Comes down into the sword zone. Warcats make a line change. The Swords send it in deep. Alex Snyder with it. Up to David Reisinger. Across to Cedric Collins. Collins sends that puck in on the goaltender from a distance. And the Warcats in to try and cut. There's a shot by Shalia that's blocked out in front. The Warcats forechecking is the word I was looking for. Trying to keep that puck in deep. Along the near side, or the far side boards, it does hop out of the zone where Collins picks it up in neutral ice. Immediately harassed by a Swords player, dumped in by Alex Snyder. And the Swords retreat. Now outlet pass for the Swords. Gets off of the stick, comes all the way down in the Warcat zone. Icing waved off due to the deflection. Now sent out in front, and Shalia on the back check was able to get a stick on that, send it into the corner. Loose puck now, David Reisinger up to Collins. Collins now has, but I'm not entirely sure that particular pass needed to be made. Either way, the Swords with possession now in the Warcat zone. The Swords trying to set something up. Pollock leaning into his man, poking it free was Fury, and then a glove save and a beauty by Aiden Mukovitz. Under 3 minutes to play. A defensive zone face-off. Again, it's Fury, Pollock, and Hunt. Fury takes that face-off. Cleanly won by the Swords. Back to the blue line. The Swords trying to keep that puck in. Sending it down towards the net. I think it hit Owen Hood's skate. Hunt now along the near side boards. In fairly deep for a winger. Now along the half wall. Able to get it to the blue line. Over the blue line. And that's going to come all the way. Wow. I thought that should go all the way down the ice for a faceoff. They're going to bring it just outside the Warcat zone on the offside. There was a Swords player who was in an offside position. Well, that puck hit the goaltender. That's usually automatic. And they called it just earlier in the game, but not this time. Anyway, it goes. The faceoff occurs, and it comes into the Swords zone. Now jumps over Aiden Whaley's stick, and retreating quickly to get it is Owen Hood. Owen Hood from the far corner sends it weakly up the board, taken by the Swords. There's a shot, goal scored. Unbelievable. You can see that happening the whole way. Nothing Mukovitz really could do about that. That is just a really awful play by Owen Hood. And I think he would say that himself. Not to pick on the young man, but I know he knows it. You can see he's showing the signs of disgust in himself. But he was back to get it. Hops over Aiden Whaley's stick at the Swords blue line, goes all the way down the ice. Hood able to get to it and then tries to send it up around the boards. Got just about nothing on it. Right to a Swords player who had all kinds of time to make a pass across. And the Swords take a 1-0 lead with about 2 minutes to go now in the first period. Hood and Whaley still out there, surprisingly. Had a long shift and out there for a goal scored. The coach is keeping them out there. Shalia working it behind the goal line. Shalia now trying to curl around. Shalia drop past the Hood. Hood then tries to chip it down low. Now Hood in the forecheck sends it out in front. And it's cleared away by the Swords into the corner. The Swords now with it. A little bit of time and space. They're going to ice it. 1:30 remaining of the first period. 1:29. And the Warcats are going to get an offensive zone face-off with Bussy, Hinton, and Josh Tidd. So the one mistake the Warcats made, and it cost them a goal. I still would say a very solid period for the Warcats, though. Down 1-0. And number 11 for the Swords, with a lot of size and speed, Good combination there. Skates it into the Warcat zone, Hinton with it. Gets it up to Tidd through the neutral zone. Now Tidd's got Bussy with him. He shoots it, save makes, rebound attempt. Bussy couldn't get a stick on it. At the side of the net, loose puck, Swords down on the ice, trying to clear it, and then kept in by Reed Hinton. High off the glass and out of the zone. The Swords send it. It comes into the Warcat zone under a minute to play the first period. Andrew Reisinger back to get it. Andrew Reisinger avoids one Swords player and then sends it over to Snyder. Snyder up to Hinton. Hinton leaves it there for Colin Fury. Fury with the shot deflected. Then sends it to the side of the net. Goaltender hangs on for a face-off. And that's going to earn Fury, Pollack, and Hunt an offensive zone face-off now. Shalia actually now to take the face-off from Fury. Shalia wins the face-off. It comes to Snyder. Snyder tries to immediately throw towards the net. It hits a leg, and the Swords come out with speed. Shot save made by Vukovic, who tries to hang on. Loose puck in front. Cleared by the Warcats. It's going to be icing on the Warcats with 21 seconds remaining of the first period. So interesting strategy, putting Shalia to take that face-off. He won it, and they immediately tried to get a shot. It almost ended up in a rush the other way. Well, it did end up in a rush the other way, but the Warcats able to keep it out of the net. Shalia now in with Cowens and David Reisinger. Reisinger ties his man up. There's a shot that hits Reisinger in the leg. Comes to the blue line and kept in by the Swords. Now Owen Hood plays that puck back to the corner. Turnaround attempt. Save made there by Vukovic. And iced with 1 second remaining by David Reisinger. 0.3 actually on the clock, as that clock ran a little bit extra, much to the benefit of the Warcats. We're going to get a face-off to end the first period here in the Warcat zone. 1-0 Swords leading this off of a defensive miscue by the Warcats. Shalia trying to protect that puck on the face-off. 0.3, only enough time for the Swords to try and shoot that towards the net. But the Warcats were not letting that happen. So at the end of one period of play, the Swords leading this game 1-0. 8 shots on goal for the Warcats. 8 shots on goal for the Swords. Again, SammyVision coming to you live from Sports Plus here in the greater Cincinnati area. And most likely, this will be my last trip to the beautiful Sports Plus facility, as I say facetiously. I will say it smells a little bit less like feet today, as in these COVID times, many of their events here are not occurring, like the trampolines and the zip lining. So face off second period. Warcats back in their own end. Hinton, Bussy, Josh Tidd out there. Whaley and Snyder, the defenders. It's the Swords with possession of the puck, deep in the Warcat zone. Puck comes to the blue line. Wind up shot. Save made there by Vukovic. And the puck just drops right in front of him. And so a save made, held on by Vukovic. And a little bit after the whistle, pushing and shoving, as tends to occur. players are separated, and the Warcats going to use this chance to make a line change. They're going to send out David Reisinger, Santos Shalia, and Collins. Good and Wickizer are going to go ahead and man the blue line. Defensive zone face-off. Shalia stepping in to take it. Swords win that. Swords player now, again, given a lot of room, and there's a shot and save made. We've seen those shots go in. I know the Warcats are kind of happy to keep the Swords players on the outside and take shots from that angle, but wouldn't give them that kind of time and space. Shalia now wins this one back to Wickizer, but it jumps over Wickizer's stick. The Swords able to get to it, number 88 for the Swords here below the goal line. Wickizer steps into him. Shalia now trying to come and help. He falls down. And right along the edge of those dasher boards, you know the ice has to be fairly choppy. And I've seen players fall down in the first game and now here in the second game. It's Collins bringing that puck up the ice. He gets it in, not very deep. Pinches against the boards to keep the puck in. David Reisinger coming over to try and help out. The Swords now with the puck from their own zone, cutting in front of his own net. The Swords player coming out of his zone with speed. Along the far side, Collins now back checking, trying to get in that Swords play. And he does. That's a great check there by Collins. Able to get the puck loose. And now we have a hand pass for the Swords. So that's excellent job by Collins, the back check. It's going to result in a neutral zone faceoff. .13:36 remaining. Second period. Paulak, Hunt, and Fury out there. Crone and Andrew Reisinger, the defenders. Fury stepping to take the faceoff, getting instructions by the referee. The referee throwing both centers out as they're not complying with his instructions. And so Andrew Pollack, taking his first faceoff of the season, I believe, steps in. It's the Swords winning that cleanly and then sending it deep into the Warcat zone. Bouncing puck to the side of the net, paddled aside by Aiden Mukovitz. Reisinger then shoots at his own goaltender. That's overstating it a little bit. Reisinger trying to spin away from the Swords player, and the puck rolled off his stick right onto Aiden Mukovitz at the side of the net. A goaltender always has to be focused and ready for whatever comes their way. There's a good example of it there. Puck drop now. Fury taking that one again by the Swords. Swords certainly have won their fair share of faceoffs in the early goings of this game. Along the far side, avoiding the check was Sean Hunt. Now it's Pollack with it. Pollack still with it. Pollack trying to feed it across to Hunt. It goes in below the goal line. Hunt trying to dig it out. Hunt still trying to play that puck. It ends up going behind the net. And then up on the play was Nicholas Crone. And it comes all the way into the Warcat zone. Andrew Reisinger picking that up. Andrew Reisinger drops past to Sean Hunt and absorbs the check. Hunt gets it over to Crone. Crone trying to get it in deep, not deep enough. The Swords take it and come the other way with it as the Warcats make the line change. The Swords sending that puck in from center ice. Back to get it is Nicholas Crone. Up to Sean Hunt. Sean Hunt trying to feed it across to maybe Josh Tidd. The Swords then send it high up in the air into the protective netting and out of play. And a fan to get that puck back into the referee. And we're going to have a face-off just outside the Sword zone. Bussy coming in to take the face-off. He's got Reed Hinton, Josh Tidd with them. Snyder and Nixon now your defenders. Tidd trying to get to that puck. He kicks it into the Sword zone and then chases it. Up along the far wall, the Sword's able to get it out of the zone. Bussy over to Snyder. Snyder chips it up ahead, looking for Tidd. Taken away by the Swords, player number 27. He sends it deep into the Warcat zone. The Swords now below the goal line. They work a lot below that goal line. We saw Miami doing that yesterday as well. Miami at times had two forwards below the offensive goal line or end line. And here's Snyder with the puck behind his own net and sends it around the boards to Hinton. Hinton then just shovels it out of the zone. The Swords right back into the zone. Now taken away by Hinton, who gives it away to the Swords again. And then up on the play Hinton on the second effort is able to dump it in the zone. Tidd trying to tip that puck towards the net. Tidd back to it in his skates. Tidd backhands it, and it goes in below or behind the net. Now near side, and Caleb Bussey is going to be off the ice here probably for 12 minutes. Touched up by Nixon. Let's see what the call is. Yeah, it's boarding, and it is a 2-10. The referee calling boarding on Caleb Bussey. It's right in front of him, near side here, and wow. Just can't seem to stay out of their own way, these Warcats. And wow, Nicholas Crone serving the minor. The coach is electing to send a defensive player into the box to serve the minor penalty. Not entirely sure that that's the best solution, but regardless, if they weren't going to use Nicholas Crone on the penalty kill, I guess it doesn't make any difference. Shalia and Cowens, I believe, are the forwards, and Wickizer and Hood defending. Warcats find themselves shorthanded again. Their second penalty of the game. The Swords haven't picked up any this game so far. There's a shot save made. Shalia absolutely obliterates that Swords player who is taking his sweet old time getting back up. Cross-ice feed doesn't connect. Cowens tries to get it on his own immediately. Second effort, he's able to clear. The Swords from the corner, picked up there by Hood, I believe, sent around the boards. The Swords able to keep it in. Again, difficult to see sometimes through this glass, and the sight lines are not great. The Swords trying to feed that across, save made there by Mukovitz. And we're going to have a penalty here on the Swords, and this will even things up. And we'll have a little bit of 4-on-4 hockey, and then we'll have the Warcats on an abbreviated power play. So 4-on-4 for another minute 3, and then the Warcats on a power play for 57 seconds, barring any other penalties. And it's number 88 we just mentioned earlier. Had some penalties in the first game, right back at it. And so 4-on-4, Warcats are going to send out Reisinger and Snyder, Hinton and David Reisinger. Couple extra penalties on the board. The referees are talking about that now. It's really of no significance. They put Bussey's penalty up twice, but it is 4-on-4. The referee trying to hold up play here and say something to the Warcats coaches. Puck is dropped. Hinton wins it forward. Icing waved off. Hinton able to get to that puck first and feeds it back to Reisinger, and that puck comes off of Reisinger's stick and into the Warcat zone. Snyder back to get it. 10 minutes remaining, second period. Snyder up to David Reisinger, now through the feet of Andrew Reisinger. David Reisinger trying to feed it up to Andrew again, but it goes right to the Swords defense, taken away by Hinton. And the puck slides into the goaltender for the Swords, and a whistle blown. And Hinton doing a good job of not giving up on that puck. Poked it free, but a little too far. Couldn't chase it down before it got to the goaltender. Shalia and Cowens now out there with Aiden Whaley and Owen Hood. Still 4-on-4 hockey for another 27 seconds. The Swords with it. The Swords still with it. Shalia trying to back check. Got a piece of it, slowed the Swords player up, and now it's dumped into the Warcat zone. In behind the net. 4-on-4 hockey, the Warcats playing it a little bit like it's a penalty kill, sitting back in a 4-man box. And it's actually the Warcats that'll be on the power play. They are on the power play, and the puck wasn't able to be played up to David Reisinger, who had just come on the ice. Aiden Whaley plays it behind the net. Now it's Owen Hood from the corner. He feeds it back. I have no idea what's going on here. Collins eventually was able to get over the puck, and now taken away by the Swords, and there's a goal scored. That's absolutely what the Warcats did. A shorthanded goal. Absolutely what they get for the lackadaisical play, and no idea what the defense is doing there. And I know it feels like I'm hammering it home. It's not picking on Owen Hood, but it just made absolutely no sense what him and Aiden Whaley were doing behind the play. And it results in a shorthanded goal, and now the Swords are up 2-0. So on the power play for 29 more seconds, I've not seen this power play unit out before. This is going to be Colin Fury, Josh Tidd, and Reed Hinton. And maybe there's something to be said for trying something different. Wow. Andrew Reisinger brings that puck into the zone, 5 seconds still on the power play. And then we'll go back to 5-5. And I have said a million times to anybody who's willing to listen, I'll take my chances 5-on-5. The power play for the Warcats, this has not been consistent enough. You never know what you're going to get on a penalty kill. I'll take my chances at 5-on-5 hockey. And that's where we're at right now, 5-on-5. But the Warcats down 2-0. Words just cannot express the disappointment that I have. Saved by Mukovitz. 8 minutes remaining, second period. Well, the Warcats are going to have to show some fight like they did the first game. Come back from a deficit. Certainly, we want to see them score some goals. They weren't going to win this game with no goals. The blue line, partially blocked. Shalia feeds it up to Collins. Collins now on the right side, bringing it across the line. He shoots it just wide of the net. David Reisinger with it, cycles it in behind the net. Referee back there with the stick. I thought he was going to play the puck. He picked up a broken stick or something behind the play. Nick Geiser up to Shalia. Shalia to David Reisinger. David Reisinger, I think, partially ran into the referee maybe and disrupted that play a little bit. The Swords able to escape the zone. Now the Swords 2-on-1. There's a shot. Goal scored. The odd man rushes are just, well, they are what they are. Three nothing Swords. The Warcats not even sure who to send out now. Not lined up. Puck is dropped. It's Hunt, Tidd, and Hinton. Owen Hood behind his own goal line. Cross-ice feed to Josh Tidd. Tidd over to Hinton. Hinton splitting the defense. Hinton, good move. And then played off the play. And then just behind the play, going after a Swords play. It makes absolutely no sense what these Warcats are doing. And they may take both players, but it's completely undisciplined by this entire Warcats team. And indeed, both players go for roughing. Hinton trying to split the defense, made a nice move, was held up there by a Swords player, and then took exception to it. So it's 5-on-5. Pollack gets absolutely murdered, and it's going to be a penalty on the Swords. It's got to be interference. Indeed, it is. Pollack puck was nowhere near him, and the Swords player just came over and leveled him. So speaking of undisciplined, it's Swords, but the Warcats power play hasn't made them pay. Unbelievable. Referee blows the whistle as the goalie knocks the net off of its supports. There's a great feed across the Shalia, tried to one-time it backside, ends up hitting the side of the net, and the goaltender kicked the net off. Shalia wins the faceoff back to Reisinger. Reisinger still with it, feeds it over Shalia. That was kind of a weak pass. Reisinger able to get it back and keep it in, though. Good play by Andrew Reisinger to kind of atone for a bit of a soft pass that he had just made a little bit earlier. Now Reisinger up on the play in the corner, pinning his man against the boards behind the net. David Reisinger up to Snyder. Snyder back down to David Reisinger. Stick shot. Save made there by the goaltender. And the Swords able to get it to the blue line, but not out. Snyder feeds it back down to David Reisinger up to Shalia. Shalia has some space. Puts it on the net. Shot. Save made. Shalia put it at the net hoping for the rebound. He got the rebound and a hand pass being called. And so the faceoff's going to come outside the zone. But Shalia got the rebound he was looking for, and then I think it was David Reisinger backdoor. Couldn't get that back towards the net. And again, another line I have not seen on the power play. This is going to be Fury, Hunt, and Tidd, with Wickizer and Owen Hood on defense. Tidd has it taken away from him here by the Swords. Owen Hood back to get it. Puck on edge. Hood trying to settle it down in behind his own net. Hood with it. And right to the Swords. Swords clear it back down to the side of the net. And played up the ice by Hood to Fury. Fury avoids one man. It's close to offside. Then the shot save made rebound attempt. And now Fury skating away from trouble. Sneaky little shot there by Fury. And it was a partial rebound. And the referee now talking to the Swords players about some of the extracurricular activity, maybe. I don't know. 20 more seconds on the power play. Shalia losing that faceoff and immediately sent out by the Swords. Cowan, far side. Cowan's toe dragging the defender. He sends it towards the front. Played by the Swords defender. David Reisinger was looking for it. Reisinger now trying to get that to his stick. Picked up by Shalia. Shalia winds up. Shot blocked. Took a little too much time there. And the Swords able to get to it and get it out of the zone as both teams now skating 5-on-5. Again, another empty power play for the Warcats. Collins cycling it in behind the net. Shalia backhanding it out in front. Now Collins picks it up. Save made by the goaltender, and that deflection goes in behind the net and sent out of the end. We're going to have another penalty. hooking on a Swords player, I think. 22. Back to the box again. And they're going to take one of the Warcats as well. Well, 5-on-5. Again, probably a good thing for the Warcats. I don't know what the discussion is. I know that it looked like Andrew Risinger, the captain, was talking to the referee and wasn't happy with something he heard. Now the Swords players surrounding the referee. The referee trying to explain something to the scorekeeper. 4:11 remaining, second period. Warcats down 3-0 in a disgusting game so far. I did not see who the Warcats have in the box. I know Bussy is still in there from his misconduct. The Warcats, as usual, don't have enough men out there on the ice. We've seen this time and time again. Finally get a player out there. It is supposed to be 5-on-5. Shalia Hinton Cowens icing on the Swords. Sorry if it's a very pessimistic broadcast. It's easy to get negative, but I've watched this team many years, and this has been the hardest stretch of hockey I've ever had to watch the Warcats play. It's just not very good hockey. It's very undisciplined. The blame goes all around. The players, the coaches, probably the fans and parents as well. Complete mess. Shalia with the puck. Skates it away from the wall and then tries to send it over to Collins. It's taken away by the Swords. Collins gets it back, sends it in. Deep in the zone. The Swords now below their own goal line. Easy breakout. Now stolen by Collins. Collins feeds it down. Maybe trying to feed it down to Shalia. Comes through to Collins again in front of the net. Played away by the Swords again. And now 2-on-1 the other way. Unbelievable. And then after the whistle, again, some more stuff. This is not the hockey that I want to watch. We may just have a silent broadcast from this point on. There aren't words to explain. There really aren't words to explain how terrible this is. Collins being sent in a box. So both number 19s, Collins and his counterpart number 19 being sent to the box. We're going to be 5-on-5 again, I believe. Fury, Paulette, Hunt, Snyder, and Crown. Shot from the point goes just wide of the net for the Swords. 3 minutes to play, second period. Warcats down 3-0. icing on the swords.
We might have we might have to switch phones because hers just hit 20%.
Uh, char- no, hook it into this charger.
I have a cord. It's long, so.
Nixon shipping it up ahead. Tid trying to backhand it up to Fury. And out of position again to Warcats. Odd man rush. Just wide of the net. Under a minute to go, second period. Andrew Reisinger bringing it over the line. Met there by some Swords players. The Swords able to get it out of the zone. Again, an odd man rush if they hurry. Now Hunt back to the back check. Picked up by Andrew Reisinger. Nobody to pass to, so he turns around and tries to protect the puck against the wall. He knows there's 15 seconds left in this period. An ill-advised pass there by Pollock gives it away to the Swords. Warcats trying to survive the second period. 2.5 seconds remaining, and they just might get out of this. Might just get out of this down 3-0. Maybe not. Wow. Save made by Mukovitz at the end does keep it 3-0. 6 shots on goal for the Warcats. 9 for the Swords. Warcats 14 shots for the game. Swords 17 so far. The Swords with the 3-0 lead. 2 periods in the book. 15 minutes away from putting this to bed. Third period of play. Both penalty boxes are actually clear at this point. See how long that stays. Maybe not. The referee's talking to the coaches. So who knows? And Caleb Bussey going back to the box, it looks like. So I spoke too soon. Maybe they did not figure the time correct on his penalty. It is supposed to be a full 12 minutes. It was a 2-minute minor and a 10-minute misconduct, unless there was something else added onto it that I don't know about. Face-off drop. Shalia tripped right off the face-off, no call. Now centering feed comes off of Shalia's stick. The Sword's trying to get to it. Snyder back to the fence. Shalia now steps into his man. Gets the puck over to Andrew Reisinger. Reisinger away from one man. Puck taken away by the Swords immediately. Drop pass. Picked up by Reisinger. Up to his brother David. David Reisinger with it on the left side. Kick saved by the Swords defenseman. Good soccer skills there. Shalia up to Andrew Reisinger. Dumped in. Another giveaway by the Warcats. Full score. 4-0. Again, this is a team effort. This is not just one person. This is the Warcats imploding on themselves. The Swords is a very decent team. Not a 4-0 team, though. As evidenced by the earlier game, Collins now with the puck. Rolls off of his stick. We think now Bussey is finally out of the box. They're going to put him out on the ice here with Hinton and Tidd. Tripping on Tidd. Josh Tidd tripping to the box. Actually, the first game today saw almost the exact same penalty by Josh Tidd. Almost exactly the same. It was like I was watching a replay. No discipline, no consequences, no emotion, no coaching, no caring. Penalty over. Warcats now get the fifth skater on the ice. Exactly. This is exactly what you kind of would expect to happen in a season in a wacky game like this. Two players, one for the Swords, one for the Warcats, or two helmets got stuck together, and so the whistle occurs behind the play. Exactly the kind of wackiness. These moments of silence, part of my effort to try and live by the rule. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. I certainly don't have much good to say, so we're going to bring you the pictures, maybe not a whole lot of audio. Coming up on 9 minutes remaining in this game. Warcats down 4-0. I don't understand the thought process, the strategy. I'm not entirely sure what I'm watching here. Another terrible play. going to have interference. We're going to have interference on the Swords number 17. There's number 17, and he's going to pick up an extra for arguing. His number counterpart, number 17, Sean Hunt, absorbed that interfering check. The parents for the Swords take an exception to that, but a pretty clear-cut interference. Warcats going to be on a power play. And even though the game most likely is in doubt, and the outcome probably in doubt, we'll see if anything positive can come from an otherwise dreadful game. So I believe they just gave 2 minutes and then a misconduct instead of an unsportsmanlike, which would have been another penalty, which probably is what they meant to do or what the kid deserved. It should have resulted in more power play time, but whatever. Just wide by Snyder. Andrew Reisinger from the blue line. Good save. Hamburger. Andrew Reisinger lights the lamp. So there it is, a power play goal. Something positive for the Warcats. Andrew Reisinger from, I believe, David Reisinger and Santo Chalia. Seven and a half to play third period. 4-1 Swords. Wow, no slashing called there. Number 11 did pretty much the same thing that Josh Tidd did. Wow, Hinton just missing that. An excellent opportunity there. But number 11 slashed. The only difference is that the Warcat player didn't fall down or lose his stick. Same exact motion, same exact idea. But because of the end result, there's no penalty. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Under 7 minutes to play now here in the third period. 4-1 Swords. Turnover. Odd man rush for the Swords. Turnover. Leah draws the interference from number 11. Number 11, one of the better players here for the Swords. So Warcats going back on the power play, and number 11 for the Swords being sent off the ice. Five minutes to play, third period. Warcats on the power play, trailing 4-1. Turnover. Leah, he falls down to the ice. Shot back in, 20 seconds remaining on the power play. Shalia outlet feed way too far for Collins icing. 4:02 remaining, third period. 14 seconds remaining on the power play. The players for the Warcats on the power play not lined up correctly. Face-off win coming back to Bryce Wickheiser. Loose puck. Both teams skating 5-on-5. Sure looked like that puck rolled over the blue line. The referee says no, still onside. I give a lot of credit here to Colin Fury. He's playing very hard. No, 5-1. And as usual, the Warcats, well, we'll just stay silent. 3:05 remaining, third period. Warcats trailing 5-1 to the Cincinnati Swords. Two and a half the price. 1:49 remaining. Shot right on by Rising. 'Good play by David Rising there when he gets tied up. 1 minute to play. 1 minute remaining in the game. Warcats down 5-1. Good hustle by Collins. Snyder letting that puck go. Referee not going to let him have icing on that one. Five seconds. 2.7 seconds remaining. Referee probably should have just let that clock run out. Sword's going to walk away with the win here. Penalties being assessed really insignificantly at the end here. Or maybe not being assessed. Center ice face off. This should end the game. Look at Fury still going after it. Good for him. Warcats lose 5-1.